As you can tell from my very shaky entrance, I've been hitting the eggnog extra hard to get into the holiday spirit. Who's ready for yet another holiday-themed tale full of Yuletide cheer? Yeah, who's ready to see Wolverine live in the flesh? I'd like that too, but he's not here today. Yeah, he's got a scheduled off day. You can boo him though and tag him in the comments if you'd like. Yeah. Well, at the very least, we left a very tiny Christmas present under the tree. Way smaller than I would have expected, but you know what? It's the thought that counts. Well, today's story is a classic holiday tale of good and evil, filled with greed, gravestones, a very nice four-poster bed, and a bunch of hideous mutants and spooky ghosts too. Yeah, it is kind of a dark choice for a holiday tale, huh? I probably should have done this in October, don't you think? Well, you know what? We're already all out here, and this is the specific story that they're paying me to do on the schedule, so let's get on with it, shall we? Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. This is very exciting for me. For today's story, we travel back in time to jolly old England for a dignified holiday tale written by Sir Mr. Charles Xavier Dickens and brought to you by Disney Plus. Cheer louder so they give me a bonus, please. Disney Plus! That's right, everybody. Disney Plus is paid to keep little old Storytime around for the holidays. Finally, a streaming service that understands quality content. I'm Deadpool, and you're watching Disney Plus. All right, well, now that the pandering segment of this performance is over, let's get to the actual story, shall we? Oh, this is very exciting for me, by the way. Doing a Christmas story and all. It's rare that I get to sink my teeth into something as uplifting and joyous as a Christmas story. Always filled with positive messaging, goodwill, and whatnot. Page 1, Marley was dead. Wow, that is a very dark start to this story. That's literally the first sentence. Not sure if Disney Plus actually signed up for all of that. Let me just skip ahead to the less morbid parts. All right, let's see here. Look at these adorable pictures, by the way. Aren't these cute? Thank you, I scribbled these myself. I know I'm no Robert Liefeld, but at least I know how to draw feet, am I right? Oh, here's a very nice, uplifting, and joyous sentence. The meanest old curmudgeon in all of London town was a vile, ugly, hairy, smelly, prickly, miserly old brute by the name Logan-Easer Scrooge. Oh, Scroogey really did not like the holidays and always went around saying, "Bah humbug, bub," whatever that's supposed to mean. He had a very handsome and charming and extremely funny, although a bit of an acquired taste, I will admit, employee by the name Wade Cratchit Poole. Yeah, you see what I did there? Thank you. Yeah, poor Wade, he just wanted to enjoy the holiday season and have literally a single day off in his entire career. But old Scroogey was like, "Get back to work, Bob, all right? Come on and count me money." He was really not a nice mutant. And did I mention he was smelly, miserly, and somewhat Australian? Well, anyway, because Scroogey was such a naughty little mutant, he was visited in the night by one of his dead partners. One of his ex-partners, if you will. He was an X-Men. And he told him that he would be visited in the night by 3 ghosts who would help restore the spirit of the season in his little heart. This really troubled Scroogey. He slept very uneasy, kind of like when you eat one too many chimichangas before bedtime time. Suddenly, a bright light shone through his window. He sauntered over, so sweaty and so hairy, opened the curtains and saw that it was none other than Johnny Storm. All flamey and bright. Not Steve Rogers like we all clearly wanted, but yeah, that's fine. He's cool too. Actually, he's not cool. He's hot. Anyway, everything that he said was filled with vulgarities that, quite honestly, I cannot repeat here at the Disneyland Resort. Registered trademark. But long story short, he showed Scroogey his sad past. His sad origins, if you will. And I will. Then the ghost of Christmas present showed up, and it was just this giant, child-minded figure, way larger than a normal man should be, with a body made completely out of metal and a very obnoxious Russian accent. Sounded a little something like this. Lokanizar Scrooge, gaze upon the Cratchit poor family and see your shame. It's a pretty good Russian accent, wasn't it? He shows them a picture of the beautiful Cratchit Pool family living in a small but humble studio apartment off of Pico and Crenshaw. Blind Al was there, Dog Pool, and little tiny Peter Pool, who was obviously sickeningly ill and leaning on a small crutch. They could barely get by on the meager salary that Wade's boss had given him. This caused old Scroogey to finally feel the first true emotion he's ever felt in the hundreds of years he lived on this planet. So emotional, in fact, that it caused a single tear to trickle down his chiseled, mewing jawline, soaking in those luscious mutton chops. It was like the climax of a perfect rom-com, like the proposal. Anyway, then the ghost of Christmas Days of Future Past showed up, and quite honestly, it gets very confusing and scary. I'm not really going to get into all of that. The timelines get very convoluted. It almost ruined the franchise, quite honestly, but the ghost shows Scroogey that he needs to keep the spirit of the season deep, deep in his heart, all year round. Meanwhile, tiny little Peter Pool narrowly escapes death, because Scroogey pays to get his tiny little legs healed, and they become sugar plum chums. Scroogey is true to his word and becomes a better mutant. This is my favorite part of the story, actually. And then, tiny little Peter Pool waddles over with his newly refurbished legs to old Scroogey McDuck, grips him by his very muscular inner thigh muscles, and exclaims for all to hear, "God of Thunder bless us, everyone, Loogie Bear." And they all lived happily ever after. Not a dry eye in the house. In fact, the house was soaking wet with tears. So you can clap more, please. Thank you. Thank you so much. You want to know why they lived so happily ever after? Why, you ask? Because this story in particular has been rehashed and merchandised dozens of times over the years. It's what we like to call in the business easy money. Well, to be fair, it is a very spirited tale. And on that note, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for coming. And an even bigger thank you, no offense to all of you, to Disney Plus! Check out all of the quality programming only available now on Disney Plus. Happy holidays, everyone! Who needs Wolfie anyway? Who am I kidding? I do. Come on, Joe Pinder, rewrite it on. Thank you, sir. Isn't he great? Everyone give it up. Give it up. That's right. Wow, thank you. don't want to make the naughty list? You know what you gotta do when you get home from the Disneyland Resort registered trademark? Kick your boots off and watch some Disney Plus. And believe it or not, they're not even paying me to say that, but even if they did, I'd say it anyway. High five, child. Goodbye. Oh, little heart action. Goodbye, little tiny infant. There you go. This is your first memory. This is your first core memory, I'll tell you that.